So, what would you say is the biggest issue with Sea of Thieves?
It gets super repetitive after about, well, once you've done one of everything, then it's just like, okay, you got to grind it out to get just a cosmetic or
Yeah,
something like that.
that's a good point.
That's what I
Yeah.
that's what I would say is the biggest issue in
So,
my
could you
opinion.
also say that another big issue with Sea of Thieves is that it's very empty? That's my second side.
Yes. The
Very empty.
seas, there's like what, 6 people
Yeah,
or
six
6 ships
crews max.
per server?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
it's
right, so
way too small.
my solution is solving this question, this issue, of making the seas not so empty. Now, the simple solution to that would be, well, just up the amount of people per server. Make it like 10 plus crews per
Mhm.
server. But clearly Rare has never done that, and I'm guessing it's because of server issues. They probably can't handle that many ships on a server. So my entire concept, my entire pitch, is working around existing game mechanics. So this is all
Mhm.
stuff that Rare could very possibly do, and it's basically just redoing some of the existing features in Sea of Thieves and combining stuff to make it fun, to make it less
Mhm.
empty. So my solution is a new game mode, and I'll explain here. So these are the two game modes you have. You got Safer Seas, and which is just solo by yourself. You got limited rewards. You got High Seas, which is just normal Sea of Thieves. So these two modes would still exist. You can, if you want your normal Sea of Thieves experience, you can go out into the sea. If you want to do tall tales and stuff that you need access to the full world to, and to have your normal Sea of Thieves experience. But what I want to add is the raging seas. And I just feel free to read this. Read this out loud for us.
Absolute chaos. You look left and see cannons flying towards you. You look right and see more cannons flying towards you. Also, you sunk 3 minutes ago.
Yep. So this is my new game mode where heightened rewards, because if you're like a casual player, you're playing high seas. If you're new, you're playing safer
Mhm.
seas because you don't want to get attacked by other people. Raging seas is absolute chaos. This game mode solves our issue of the seas being empty. Let me explain here. So this is the normal Sea of Thieves map. It looks weird, but
Mhm.
this is the entire Sea of Thieves map. What Raging Seas is it is a limited amount of
Oh.
the map. So the entire
Oh
world border
God.
is limited to a small section of the map, and each server would be one of 5 zone locations, which means it could be there would be like 5
God,
of
that
these
would be
zones
awful.
on each section
The
of the map,
devil's
and then each server is just going to be a random one of those 5.
the
What do you
devil's
think
roar,
so far?
having that be so contained with
With
everyone on
volcanoes?
the sea. Yeah, with
Yeah,
full chaos, that would be genuinely full chaos. That would be
yeah.
hell.
Which is kind of the point. It's the raging seas. So
Hmm.
here's some limitations to the raging seas. It's still 6 crews per server. Alliances are limited to 3 crews per server, so you can only have up to three. That's meant per alliance. It's not supposed to say per server, it's per alliance. But it's basically alliances can only have up to 3 ships. That way people don't make full like server alliances on the Raging Seas because the rewards are much higher. So you don't want people just like AFK, like just
Grinding it.
alliance, yeah, alliance farming it. And then they also will only spawn on non-outpost islands, and I'll show you what you mean, or what I mean.
Mm,
This is the first zone that I showed in the previous image.
yeah.
So you have 2 outposts, and most of these zones would be focused around just 2 outposts in each zone. So since there are only 2, nobody spawns at outpost. People spawn on islands when they get into the server, like when you sink and you respawn at a random island in the world.
Mm.
That's how you start out on the Raging Seas. So you're starting out with basically base supplies. You can't buy any supplies yet. And the second you get in, you're already contending against other people to rush to the outpost and supply up your ship. And you're limited to 2, so the second you get in, there's likely somebody already at one of the outposts or going to it. So you may have to either alliance or fight them just to get your supplies. Yeah, that's kind of the world, the game mode. Now, that's not all. There's gonna be three unique world events. Yeah, here's my slide for that.
Mhm.
Three unique world events that are only in Raging Seas. So you're not gonna have your usual Fort of Fortune, like none of the current world events will spawn. It'll be one, or I guess just a random of these three world events that I've created here. So the first one is the Flameheart's Fleet. So
Oh.
basically, what Flameheart's Fleet is, it is the Burning Blade,
Mhm.
but with this time, you can't capture the Burning Blade. You have to sink it. But it's not just the Burning Blade, it's the Burning Blade with two brigantines that are also manned by skeletons. So it's Flameheart's Fleet, and
So
it's going to give good rewards.
would the brigantines also have the giant flaming mouth as well?
No, because that would be a lot of work for Rare to put in. They would just be normal brigantines, basically. That, they'd
Mhm.
be like Flameheart themed, and then they'd be manned by the Flameheart skeletons.
Mhm.
So it would be, because I know for some people, and especially Sweats, the Burning Blade isn't that hard to beat when it's not crewed by like actual players. But when you have two brigs that are also on you as you're trying to take out the flagship, that makes it quite difficult. I mean, that's like trying to take a Burning Blade while two other brig players are attacking you. And
Mhm.
roughly, I would say the world event would give you around 250,000 gold. That
Damn.
doesn't really count in emissaries. This is kind of just an estimate of what the loot value would be. Um, if Rare ever did use this, they're welcome to change it. And then the next one is the Devil's Skull.
Mhm.
So, have you done the Siren Skull world event? Technically quest.
Briggsy shit?
Yeah, Brixies.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So, I guess for anybody watching that doesn't know, basically, when you accept the Briggsy quest, you get two maps. One that takes you to an island where you can dig up the key, and another that takes you to a different island that you can dig up the chest. And when you combine the two, you get the skull. And then you gotta deliver the skull to the island that Briggsy's on, and it slows down your ship. And then the idea is people are supposed to come after you, except nobody actually cares about these Iron Skull quests,
Yeah,
so
it's
9 times out of 10, nobody is going to bother you. So I'm making it better. I'm improving it. And the way we're doing that is first by making it look better. This is just some fan art I found, but something similar to this would be the Devil's Skull. Now, this one auto gives players the maps, so instead of accepting the quest and having to listen to Briggsy's annoying ass line for 30
her entire
times,
speech.
yeah,
Yeah.
her entire speech, it acts as a world event, so everybody on the server is given the maps while this is an active world event. And they can choose to go and get those items if they want, or maybe you just wait for other people to get it and steal it from them. Once you've gotten the skull, you've dug up the key in the chest and you have the skull, it never stops burning. While you are holding it, you will infinitely be on fire until you drop
Oh.
it. When you put it on your ship, it will always be burning, and it's gonna burn your ship. And the only way to stop it from burning is to fill the bottom of your ship with some water and keep it drowned in the water. And it also slows your ship because it's very heavy. And there's a
I
picture of your ship when you don't douse it in water.
I like it. I feel like that would be not only a challenge, but it'll also show you up on the map as well for
Yeah.
everyone to come and attack you. That would that will be hell.
And that's why
Because
it's the
it's
Raging
basically like the
Seas.
flame chest, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
the
It's
one that
like the
just
flame chest,
explodes.
but instead of having a like heat up, it's infinitely on fire.
Jesus.
And I'd say the skull itself would be worth 200,000 gold. So it would be a
Ooh.
very valuable thing, which would entice people to actually come after you and try to steal it. I believe Briggsy's is worth 50,000 and 75,000 if you have a maxed out Order of Souls emissary. So I would say the
Mhm.
base value for this one would be 250k and maybe like, or it would be 200k and maybe 250 if you have Order of Souls. And then the last one is the crawler fort. Now this one is the simplest one. This would be the easiest out of any of them for Rare to make. And it's really goofy when you think about it, and that's why I love it. So a normal skeleton fort. Just imagine normal skeleton fort, but they've all been replaced with ocean crawlers. So the normal skeletons are the electric guys. Whoops,
Yeah.
there we go. These guys. Every normal skeleton is replaced with this electric dude. So the second you get onto the first wave, you're gonna have at least like 10 to 15 of these guys coming at you.
Jesus.
And then the golden skeletons are replaced with the hermits. So these guys, they can like go
Yeah.
underground, they'll poison you, they'll like bash into you. So
They
you'd have
hurt
a
like
good amount of
hell.
those. Yeah, they hurt like hell. And then the keg skeleton would be the big crab, this guy. Which
Are they
I'd say
still
is
gonna carry kegs?
that would be funny if
That
they
would
had
be
like a keg.
really funny.
That's a lot of work for Rare, but Rare, if you want to go the extra mile, have a keg strapped onto their back. That would be funny. Especially mega kegs.
Oh God.
So you have to, like, when you kill them, or you can't sword swipe them or it'll blow them up. And if you're shooting at them, you gotta
Mhm.
make sure you don't hit their back. Just for an extra fuck you, when you do kill him, he blows up.
Yeah, no matter what.
No
So you
matter
have to
what,
shoot
that
him
keg's
far
blowing up.
away.
Yeah. And then the boss, I don't really have too much reference or beautiful Photoshop work for it. This is kind of just a concept art thing that would look similar. The idea for the boss, and I'll probably put up something that's more accurate, he'd basically be a combination of all three of these guys. So he'd maybe be able to electrocute you. He's got like a whole bunch of heavy armor and stuff. He can go into like the crab's like shield stage where he's like curled up in a ball with the shield around him. He could go underground like the hermit and like travel around and shoot out at people. That's the idea for the boss. He would basically just be a combination of all three crawlers. And then I'd say the value for this world event would be around like 175,000. Yeah, that's it. That's uh that's my proposal.
I I like how it's constrained so you're forced to interact with people a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's just hell.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah. And there would be still like you could have skeleton ships that are in their normal spawn location, so you may have some random skeleton ships attacking you. Megalodons would still be able to spawn, Kraken. Like they would all be normal how they are the existing spawn rates. Also, another thing for Rare, again, I'm not a developer, so I don't know how this works, but I imagine they could just render everything that's outside of this zone out because nobody's traveling outside of the zone.
Mhm.
Um, and that would probably help with resources and making sure having 6 people that close with world events going on doesn't cause like too much lag.
The other thing is with the skeleton fort, what was it, the
Yeah, the
crawl
crawler fort.
fort or the crawler fort? Would
Yes.
it have a fuck ton of loot like it does currently? Or would it have a lot less loot and just higher expensive stuff?
I would say if we're trying to go off of not making Rare have to work too much to do this, I'd say they would just put in the like Ocean Temple loot, like the coral themed chest and
Mm.
like loot you can get down there. I don't know how valuable that stuff is, but I'd say just however much is equal to about 175,000 gold of
Mm.
that loot.
I just worry that if somebody completes it and they finally kill off everyone else that's trying to attack them, do they
Yeah.
have enough time to get all that loot on board without sinking before another motherfucker shows up and starts killing
Yeah,
them?
that's a good point. I guess that's part of the struggle. It is called the Raging Seas, and it is absolute chaos. I mean, maybe the strat is you do a world event and then you let somebody else pick it up for you, and then you sink them, and you
Mm.
just go hide behind a rock or something. I mean, that's kind of the magic of it. It is absolute chaos. You are always going to be on your toes, and I know that's something I've seen a lot of people complain about, where they're like they want people to attack them, people that are like stacking the what's it called? The For the Damned, and they're doing like 12 stacks of the For the Damned, and not a single person attacks
Jesus.
them. And they're like, I want somebody to attack me. This is boring. So
Yeah, I.
I'd say it's fine. I'd say it always keeps people on their toes. So, and it's worth it because you are going for something that's significantly more valuable, like and worth a lot more than in normal seas. So it's like it's high risk, high reward.
I mean, if that was an option, I would definitely play Sea of Thieves a lot more than I currently
Yeah.
do. Because it just gets boring because there's just not a lot of stuff to do.
And the seas are
And you
very
don't have
interesting. Like
interactions or anything. Exactly.
Raging Seas, that gives you some action. You are instantly thrown into it, and you are right next to somebody that wants to murder you.
Yeah, watch you hop on Seas like, or hop on Sea of Thieves and like, oh, choose your experience. Ah, there's a new game mode. Let's try that out.
Yeah, let's try this
Instantly
out.
fucking dies.
Because I've seen
Hmm.
a lot of videos where people like make videos about, I'd love to see this, like this is what I want to see in Sea of Thieves. I'm just thinking those are great ideas, but here's something that Rare could actually add because it is just using their current game mechanics and things in the game and just making it better.
Mhm.
And this would give a little bit of like arena in a sense, especially the
Yeah.
Siren Skull because you're kind of fighting over like this very valuable item, and you're gonna have all six of these crews coming after like, or I guess five crews coming after one ship that's got the skull, and then if they think somebody else has got it, now they're the flag bearer that everybody's chasing after.
Yeah. I love
Now
the
there is
idea.
one thing. There's one thing I put on my in my Photoshop file. This is the only thing that I would want them to add that's not already a game mechanic. I want them to add a whirlpool, like a Pirates of the Caribbean
Absolutely.
whirlpool.
Absolutely. Like that giant one in the who was it? Who were they versing against? Not Salazar, but it was Davy
There
Jones.
we go. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Davy Jones. I want something like this. I want a whirlpool that just spawns randomly in the world, especially in raging seas. Maybe it's more common in raging
Mhm.
seas. And it pulls you in, and if you get pulled to the center of it, it instantly sinks your ship.
Yeah. That would
And
be,
so
and then
you
you're
have to
actually
have like a good
steer
helm
it.
that's, yeah, you gotta have somebody on a helm that's like pulling it out. It's doing damage to your ship, so you gotta have somebody repairing your holes as you're pulling yourself out of this whirlpool. And you could have other people that are caught in it, just like in the middle of a battle, shooting at each other, trying to get the other to get
Oh, that
pulled
would be
in.
badass.
Have boarders coming over, trying to like anchor you. And oh, and if you get anchored, it drags you in. So anchor is not going to save you. Like it slows it, but you slowly get pulled towards the center.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now that's one that the reason I didn't put it on here is because it would require Rare to make a brand new thing.
Game mechanic.
And that's why I kept it out. That is something I'd love to see, not just Raging Seas, just like in Sea of Thieves in general. I think that would be a really cool uh thing for them to add.
World.
Anything else you'd like to see added to Sea of Thieves?
This.
Yeah, fair enough.
This.
Add it, Rare. Add it.
Please.
I'll do
I want to
anything.
enjoy your game more.
I'll stop hunting cheaters if that's what you want.